Hey future pros, this is cadiaN. 5 pieces of good utility on Overpass. If you want to have a peek middle, go through toilets. You see there's like different lines here, and you would be aiming at this one, and you'll release like when you get around to trash can or whatever it is. Okay. So you have many different options with the smoke. So what you can do is you can just like peek above it, you can hide, and if you have a teammate coming into this edge of like sandwich or whatever you want to call it, and aim at this line and just jump through, that's just a super good pop flash. So a good opening to a round is just you smoke. Oh, it could have been a little bit higher, but you jump up here, they won't kill you. You just come here, flash, bang, and then you peek all these guys who's just blindly running up here. Then, depending on what kind of player you are, if you're maybe a Tessa's kind, you just push to the fountain. If you're a bit more passive, then you just peek above the smoke and the flash. And if you don't see anyone here, rotate to some of the like different positions in graffiti or whatever. I think for one of the more difficult pieces, but to me, I guess it's the most influential piece. I think this really changed and defined the meta in CT quite a lot, is the Molotov for the opening of T-slope. So you just run. I'm aiming in the middle of this line, and I'll try to keep my crosshair there. And when I get to the start of this bench, I'm gonna release. So I'm just running and jump through. And obviously you need this binded, right? So this is not just a space and then go, you need the jump bind, boys. But this is super strong, right? You come as a terrorist and you're like, fuck. And then you combine the two things that I talked about before.
Nice little wombo combo.
Yeah, so furthermore, I think just a good old gimmick one. This is something I've seen Jacinda do a lot. So you just go to the sign here.
Yeah, the map.
Yeah, and you just have the outline of the bump site. Just right click, you hear them jump or you jiggle peek, and then you just release the smoke and opa, you just jump up here, and this is super neat.
Cheeky one way.
Yeah, cheeky one way, it's super strong. And they won't really see you that well, and also like running into a side like this, that is not comfortable at all. You know, you want to be ready for all these kind of small peaks and angles. This is again pretty basic piece of utility as well, but let's say you have one guy who's left without any grenades. He would just sit here, and my role would just be to like jump for information. When they come, you just smoke this. It's exactly deep enough that if they run up here, they're like, okay, he's not in the corner, and they just turn for side. And then you can just play like some kind of crossfire. It doesn't matter if you're truck, bank, it's just super strong. Again, this is like a simple piece of utility. I think the last piece of utility I can show is a setup that's very common. You want to create some space for your orb, so your orb is going to be positioned, you see in device, a lot like this. When you play some of the passive angles around side, and you have a guy, just an M4, just out here on picnic, I can recommend this angle by Res, where you line this up, and then you can flash two ways. Either you just flash it over the cafe, as we call it, and they'll be blind, or you just throw it out in the bushes, out in the trees here.
Hard to see.
Yeah, they won't see it at all because of all this just covering. So, and they'll stand here and they'll be fully blind. And what also happens is often people, they make noise. They flash this or they step because it's such a long path. So you'll have a tell on when they're coming.
Nice. All right. Well, we got a couple of extra bits of utility there. Thank you, cadiaN. And good luck, future pros. Nice.